Hey, I'm Ali and welcome to my channel, Clear Skin and Wellbeing. So today I thought I would curl my hair with my TRESemme curling tongs. So I've actually switched them on and they've been on for about 30 seconds now. They heat up very quickly. Here they are. Now they've got a clamp, very easy to put the hair through. Unfortunately, they don't have a temperature gauge, or you can't go up on temperature. It's literally two. It's off, medium, I presume, and then the hottest heat. I've put my one onto the hottest heat. So although I have very fine hair, it looks a lot because it's quite curly, although I've blow dried it straight. I don't want to leave it on for too long because it will grab quickly. Obviously, if you have thick hair, you would have it on for longer. So first of all, I will just a couple of sprays of just heat protectant. That will just sort of help protect the hair. Then I would take a comb, and although I wear my hair to the side, I always go from the middle. Now I just want very large, big curls today, big bouncy curls. Just to give it some body, nothing too tight. Now, after you divided it in half, I then take it into another section each side using, if you can get hold of these crocodile clips, they're quite useful. Right, then start on the back, one half. I'm taking rather large sections here. As I say, some want it quite large. So then I grab that there. Now I start at the root and I work it down quite quickly, and then leave that very end there, and then gradually pull it all the way through and hold on to it. Now we'll just leave it on for say 5 seconds and then just pull it down. Then I would work on the other side, on the part of the back. Because my hair's layered, obviously if you got to the very end, bits would start falling out, so I do tend to, just hold it and just pull it through. So that's that. Now I've gone to that section there and take it in turns. Other section at the back. So I'm taking rather large sections today to show you. Obviously, the smaller sections you take, the tighter it will be, even if the barrel, which is this part, even if the barrel part is quite large, if you take smaller sections, you will end up with smaller curls. I think this barrel is 16 millimeters. I would have to double check. I'll put it in the description below. Side. We'll do this side here. Again, just at the back, passing with a brush. Now, before I first washed my hair, and I did put a tiny bit of mousse on, because I find mousse tends to give it a bit of a base. Then I dried my hair. And then obviously the heat protector, which is an absolute must. Curling tongs get so warm, so hot, they do damage the hair. I tend to curl my hair, I would say 2, maybe 3 times a week. Don't like to do it too often, as I feel it does start to dry the hair out. Right, so a little bit more at the back there, maybe one more. So take it in turns, do that one there, yeah, and one at the back there. So I'm taking very large, so I just want very big curls there. Work it down. Also for speed on the video, I'm sure you don't want to be sitting there staring at me for the next half an hour. Although saying that, to be honest, when you do curl your hair, it doesn't take too long. 10 minutes. on that side. Now, if your hair's colour treated, you will find it will grab quicker and be quicker to curl because your hair is quite porous, and porous hair is sort of easier to manipulate. Whereas, you know, if your hair's lovely silky and glossy and has never been coloured, obviously you'd have to leave these on for a bit longer, otherwise they're not going to it's not going to take so well. If you do have hair which the curl tends to come out quite quickly, I would recommend putting hairspray on every time you do a layer. So I've got some here, some Kendra. So what I could do is I've laid those bits, but maybe put a bit of hairspray before I start the next set. So that will just help hold it in. So now onto the side parts. So wrap that there. Now the side parts you've got to be quite careful on because the side parts are the finest parts of your hair. So they do grab one up, do that there. Now when you curl, when you put it as close as you can, try not to hold it for too long, otherwise you would end up with a ridge like that. Just trying to demonstrate. So you've got to be quite quick. Otherwise, just if you do, just smooth it out a bit. And just do a bit on the end. So, and then I will do the next section, the other side. I'm afraid it's quite noisy in here today. It's quite a windy day, and sort of blowing everything around. I can hear things flapping, so I do apologise. Right, sit there, hold it, not for too long, down. So I don't like to wear gloves when I'm curling time because I like to feel the hair, I feel the heat. That's it. Right, so now we've done the back, we've done the sides, we're now going to work onto the top. So I would then start with the crown. Here. Let's see. Hard to tell. There we go. Right, so you want to do it that way. Push it right way up. So say leave the very endy bits, and then you can just. You don't want to get them caught the other way, otherwise they end up going back and you end up with a bit of a mess. So you want to get it round the right way. Okay. And then I think probably, let's just do one more. Make it nice and big. Now I'm actually growing out a fringe, which can be quite tricky when you're curling if you've got layers as such. So when you get to that point, you don't want to go any further than that. Just try to push it through and then just pull gently, just do that, get it through to the ends, and then just keep moving all those little stray hairs, all the pieces which are shorter, and just push it round and keep twirling and twizzling, and just leave it on for a few minutes. Oh, let's go and see what's going to be there. Now, see my hair at the very end is where it's been coloured and bleached. That's going to grab quite quickly, so I won't want the heat to be on there for too long. Right, now I'll give that probably a final spray. Some hairspray, and then I would put a tiny bit of oil on. This is a no oil from Percy Reed. Put argan oil, just something, just if you don't want your hair to be dry and frizzy. And just on the ends, I wouldn't use it on the roots. Right, there we go. Now ideally I would leave the curl in for at least 5 to 10 minutes just for it to completely cool down, because once it's cooled down it will stay in longer. And then once you've done that, you could use a brush, but I would end up like that. So I'm just going to use my hands, my fingers, and just very carefully kind of tease. You can see it's getting curly. Just tease those out. Do a bit on the root. If you do that at the roots, you get a bit more body in. And so, although I've done it from the middle, parted it from the middle, I tend to have a side parting. Right, there we go. I think that's good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.